Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. Tonight is really quite a special show tonight. We have a lot to discuss. We're going to be getting through a lot of content. The notes are in questions. Yeah, with all the different arrows and directions, we're going to be doing a lot of one card pulls for you this evening as well, just to cover the content. But before we begin, of course, I always go the wrong way. The camera's back to front. And of course, to my side,
That's the wrong
Lady
way.
G.
Right the first time.
You've got your point.
There you go.
No, other way.
But I'm pointing to Lady G.
No,
Really?
there you go.
Yes.
That's the right way. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, but you see on my camera, it's showing you this side.
Yeah, I know.
How funny is that? How funny is that?
It's the hardest thing.
Let's just say to my top right from my view is Lady G. On the diagonal, what about this one? Is that pointing at Sheila now?
No.
Wow. Oh my gosh, it's completely the okay. So Sheila is down there, and is Lena still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Right. Okay. Lena's still here. Sorry, folks. Everything is upside down and back to front in so many things. So welcome, ladies. It's lovely to have you. Thank you everyone for joining us. Everyone is piling into the chat. There is so much to discuss. We're going to cover the ground. Like I said, we're going to start off with some one card pulls just so that we can get through the content. It's giddy up all the way. Then we'll slow down a little bit, and then we're going to end with a little bit of astrology, because someone was asking me about the Rahu Dasha of the United States, which is a specific time sequence that people and countries can go into. So I'm going to be showing you when the energies will be peaking even more, and then where things could potentially improve. All right, let's begin. Ladies, are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so we're starting off. This is a one card pull that we'll be doing. So Sheila, just to remind you, I think you've done it before. We're all just going to pull one card and interpret that card, and collectively we will surmise together. All right, so this is coming from Nick Mintz. Can you guys hear me okay as well? Is my sound okay? Yeah,
No,
I'm going to be improving my internet speed from next week, so I should be all right. Okay, Nick Mintz says, this is about the Pope in the Catholic Church. The Pope is still critically ill in hospital, and I really don't see him being able to carry on, she says. What lies ahead for the Catholic Church, and is there any signs they will evolve? Yeah, so Catholic Church, we'll have to see with the Pontiff. As you guys know, the Great Awakening is happening in Pisces, sidereal Pisces, which is a sign of spirituality, religion, and Christianity, literally, and it's coming there. So just to reiterate, what lies ahead for the Catholic Church? Are there any signs that they will evolve? So what's ahead for the Catholic Church? One card pull. Let me get my cards out. Oh, you're ready already, ladies. Oh my gosh. I'm lagging behind my own show. All right, 1 minute. All right.
I'm just following.
All right.
Yeah, that's right.
After 3, we will reveal our cards. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, interesting. So let's do anti-clockwise like we usually do. So Lena, how do you interpret your card for the Catholic Church?
Well, this is the Queen of Swords, and as we know, the Catholic Church hasn't been marvelous in relation to women. So I think this will be a decision that emerges, when the Pope dies, there's a conclave who will replace him. I think it's going to be quite a cold energy. Not warm and fuzzy.
Fascinating. Okay, Sheila, how are you interpreting your card for the Catholic Church?
I picked my situationals for this, and my situation came out as pressure cooker. So as I'm interpreting this pressure cooker, like they're waiting for him to go. They don't really know exactly what the next step is. And I have a feeling that there is some pressure and some angst going on within the Catholic Church and with the Pope.
Wow. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, new messages of truths are going to come out.
Yes, truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And my card here, just in case Spirit wasn't listening in case we weren't sure, look at this. 3 of Pentacles, which is 3 people working on the church. So I think what this is, I think we're going to see, well, look, we don't know how long, of course, he'll be here, but we know the pontiff, is struggling. So anyway, we'll have to see what happens. But what this says to me is when he eventually does pass, I think there's going to be, this strikes me as a more international collaboration. This is the card of collaboration. And we may see a pope from a different background than what we're used to. I think, Lena, you were mentioning that we were having one of our little fireside chats, weren't we? And so I think it might be more collaborative going forward. I'm not saying it's not collaborative, but we might see something different, a slight evolution in the plans, not the usual pope, whoever's next. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was quick, wasn't it? Nice and quick. Anything to add to that, ladies, before we move on?
Well, yes, as I was saying to you, Hoga, because of celibacy, fewer and fewer Anglo men are joining the priesthood. So there's a lot of men from different African countries and the Philippines there. So could we see a black or brown pope? That sounds progressive, except they tend to be the most conservative.
Yeah, they can be the most staunch. They can be the most staunch. Just saying hellos to everyone. People are piling in. Thank you so much for joining us. I have to say some thank yous already. So Rose Blue, thank you. I'll call around. So Rose Blue, thank you so much. I can't read all that text. I can't see it at the moment. So Sylvia Watkins, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, 49.99. And thank you, Mariposa, so much for your kind donation as well. All right, ladies, are we ready for the next one card pull? All right, now this is an interesting. Thank you. Yeah, I forget the one card pulls. They're so refreshing and quick. All right. This is another one for Nick Minks, but I couldn't resist asking this one. So it's an astrology question, but it's for a wider context. So they say, moving away from world politics for a moment, if astrology was taught in school, do the cards show if the world would improve as a result?
Fabulous question.
Great question, eh? So one card pull on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we forget that it was only 200 years ago and stuff that doctors and the clergy, everyone else was still using astrology up front, Yeah,
they were. It was actually a big part of a doctor's resume to be able to do astrology and stuff like that. And even the scientists, Galileo was an astrologer as well. And so was Newton. All right, let's see. There. Okay, are we ready? And so after 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, all right, let's go anti-clockwise again. Lena, how are you interpreting your card for if astrology was taught in schools, would the world improve?
Well, unless other sociological factors were in play, sorry to be boring about coming back to my discipline, but there'd be just as many arguments, because there'd be arguments about the astrology because people aren't involved enough to actually handle that as an experience. At least I'd say that would be the short-term result. Yeah.
That 5 of Wands. Yeah. Sheila, how do you interpret your card? What do you have?
I have the 6 of Cups. So it's actually, that charity, that wonderfulness, that childhood memories, that it would, and it says kindness. I mean, I think that it would teach kindness. It would teach togetherness. It would teach that everything that they do, coincides with somebody else. I think it would be absolutely fabulous. I think we would have wonderful, better children. Yeah. So that was my card.
Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, we have the Magician. It could make changes, but also there would be those that would say it's hocus pocus and it's, so we have both sides of the coin with that.
Maybe even a little bit of manipulation as well, isn't it? Because the shadow can come in with the Magician. Well, ironically, I get the Hierophant. And isn't it funny? We were talking about the Catholic Church, yeah, and we were saying that. So my instinct is that I think people will be up for it because, yes, it would teach empathy. Like when I'm working with my clients on their charts, you really are using your intuition, your empathy, you're engaging with them, engaging, with the planets and stuff like that. But I think there might be resistance in the church against astrology, even still. And maybe a new pontiff coming in wouldn't be so warm to it. So I think some people would go for it, but there would be religious resistance. How ironic. Yeah, we were just reading Pope, and a Pope has shown up. Wow. Yeah. But thanks for that. Intriguing. All right, let's move on to the next question. So we're going to go to number 3, if I can find it on my sheet. Where's number 3 today? Here we are. So this is going to be oh no, is this a 1-card pull as well? Actually, they can't all be 1-card pulls. Let's make this one a full card pull, and we've got more 1 cards coming up. So this is about Starlink. And this is coming from Denise. Good question. I think it merits a full card. It's being reported the FAA, the Federal Aviation Admin, has decided, she says in brackets, has decided to move forward with Starlink and drop the 2.4 billion contract signed with Verizon signed with Verizon 2 years ago. Will the FAA move forward with Starlink, and will there be any repercussions such as accidents as a result? Yeah. Ooh, and then I've put here in brackets, well, the rockets crash and burn too. So anyway, let's see.
Yeah. Thank you, Christopher. That's very generous.
Right.
Yeah, while everybody's shut up, there's a lot of comments about my makeup. Thank you so much. Normally I'm on here without makeup, so I just wanted to
well, you look gorgeous either way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With or without.
Figure makeup cover up the mad face that but anyways, long story.
So Starlink, will Starlink work out? Will Starlink work out? Will Starlink work out?
I can go if you want.
Go for it.
Well, the first card out is Justice. So I think there'll be endless legal issues going forward anyway with Starlink. Wherever it is, there will be issues following it because it's tied to the muskrat. So endless complications legally. I think this is Musk defending his project in that way. Other people using your phrase, Hogarth, return on investment. They said, well, we've paid a fortune for this and now it's not working, because he always seems to take shortcuts with his technology, which is why the rockets crash, etc. So people will be angry. Not just we, the people, this is more business people will be angry. Investors, the word I'm looking for. And those investors will be the ones he has to answer to, because he doesn't have to answer to us, and he doesn't. It's only them, and it'll end in tears.
Wow.
That's me.
Wow. Sheila, what do you have for us?
Well, I did a Celtic cross, and my overall impression and reading for the whole thing, all my cards, is that he doesn't care about FAA. He's just getting in to cheat.
Huh.
This is the underbelly, the reasoning why he wants us to go in there, deception, thief, and so he's somehow, some way, he knows he's going to get in this way to go after something else, because I got the 10 of Wands. He really wants it, but somehow, some way, it doesn't happen because they don't accept it. There's an apathy. It's not. And the Two of Swords, again, trying to say one thing and go after another. Heartbreak is in the future for him. And then after the heartbreak, I get the Ace of Cups, where it talks about somebody else, the new compassion, something new comes in. I get Hangman. People recognize it. They see it. They get a new perspective as the reason why he wants to do it. His card's not so good. I got the Emperor and then a King of Wands, so a born leader. So something happens to where it doesn't happen. They recognize that he's going into thief for something else, and I have a feeling that Verizon keeps it. The born leader, the leaders that are right now, the ones that are leading it right now. That's mine.
Oh, interesting. How interesting. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, it's about what he's trying to birth in America with his business, as usual. So the energy coming into it are restrictions coming up for the long term when it comes to this, because at the center of it, the lid is off when it comes to him and his contracts and things that he's doing, alliances, marriages with people. The challenge is they feel like he's trying to get away with something against the people again. And then the possible outcome, they've got some knowledge about, information about it. And the rainbow thing, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, something he is in, trying to scam.
My goodness. All right, let me just say some more quick thank yous. Where did we get up to? So, Foggy, much appreciated. Thank you so much. Brenda C, as she said, thank you, Fantastic Four. It's a birthday today, so happy birthday, Brenda. Much appreciated that you're joining us. Mara, thank you so much. Christopher, thank you so much. Here, Rose Chicatelli, thank you for all what you do. Love and light to all. Thank you. Someone here, Rosalind, says, I'm retired now and I wish I could donate more to your meditations on humanity. Oh, well, you're very generous. Anyway, I learn a lot from your interpretations of the tarot. Plus, I love the chat community. Yes, it's a thing unto itself. And then I would teach us to the evangelists, and then it talks about
we have a birthday in the chat. I want happy birthday to Brenda.
Yes. Happy birthday, Brenda. Thank you very much. So, okay, so Starlink, interesting cards. My cards sometimes can be rather dramatic. So here we go. In a way, this is talking about aviation, in the United States. Oh dear, the United States aviation or airspace may feel like literally a hostage to fortune. It's the Starlink, but it may entangle things more than actually sorting it out. Elon, as Lena says, has a habit of not completing his tasks properly. We know the self-driving cars and all that stuff has caused many accidents. Many people have died. That's why he's doing all this litigation and getting rid of his enemies. So imagine with aeroplanes. And of course, one of his rockets blew up the other day. Do you remember? They had to divert air traffic control. So he may tie things up more than he actually liberates. Look at the next card. Ten of Swords. Oh dear. I don't think it's going to be good for aviation safety. Not with cards like this. Not with cards. I mean, that could literally be a plane crash, couldn't it? So pretty self-explanatory. But here is the motivation, I think, for Muskie. It's about him building his profile and legacy. The 10 of Pentacles, of course, deals with legacy. I associate this card as well with government, with big contracts. When we're talking about funding of political parties, GOP in particular, but this is him looking at his corporate portfolio and his legacy. It's all about Mars with Elon. That's the goal, Mars, yeah, his long-term things. At the moment, it is not that obvious to the FAA what his true plans are. Here's Elon here keeping his true plans, yeah, hidden, yeah. My personal belief is that he wants to propagate his own race of people combined with robots. I know this sounds completely bonkers, and have them on Mars, because he's now on his 14th child. Have you heard about that?
Yes,
Apparently
yes.
he's on child number 14 because he's artificially inseminating women, apparently, and he's got this baby factory going on.
Yeah.
And really, what's it all about? It's him, his power.
Yeah.
Here we've got the Hierophant is back, but this can also talk about someone who wants to be the Pope, the all authority. He wants total authority over the skies, over space, over going to Mars. It's megalomania.
Yes.
It's megalomania. That's why he's doing it. Anything to add to that, ladies, before we move on?
No.
Ah, all right. Wow, we are going at great speed, aren't we? We're going at great speed. So that was the FAA. Right, let's dive in. Now we've got our first Zelenskyy. Yeah, first Zelenskyy to talk about. And in a way, this is more, not so much about questions. It's more about, I think, our reaction. I'm going to read the questions out, and then we can react and maybe pull some cards. So Nick Minks combined with someone else. So it says, unfortunately, reports indicate the GOP support the buffoon and vice knobhead over spat, echoing Russian stance. Was this actually planned and staged to make Zelenskyy look bad? A senior UK correspondent actually commented that he thought this was a possibility. Yeah, and I think it was staged. But then there's another part from Diane Galela. I think I hope I said that right. Watched your show on Thursday, so that was my Thursday fry-up, where you said Zelenskyy had to be careful when coming to the US, maybe even potentially a plane crash. I said they're scheming against him. I hope they don't take him out. But anyway, this was before the meeting happened on Friday, yesterday. My question was the embarrassing shouting in the White House by Orange Blob and his psychic vice president planned as a mental bomb, which she said, I predicted, to intimidate Zelenskyy to eventually give in to Putin's demands, like they invited him to the US to make him look bad, and they really had no plans to finalize a peace treaty that would give anything to Ukraine. So let's just read on the energy of that. I think it was planned.
Yes, it was totally.
Yeah, let's read on the energy of that. That horrendous.
Absolutely. And Trump was just like a demented orangutan on steroids. It was just
so aggressive. But I thought Vance was even more despicable, the way he just
absolutely dreadful.
Anyway, it's all backfired because global support for Zelenskyy has skyrocketed, and in his own country as well. And Sakir Starmer was very good with him today. He saw Sakir Starmer in 10 Downing Street, and he was cheered on the way in, apparently.
Zelenskyy was, or Starmer?
Yeah, Zelenskyy. Oh, no, not Starmer.
I was going to say, with him wittering on about free speech, we like free speech. I thought, oh
gosh, yeah.
I just have one comment about that. We know that Trump and MAGA are going to follow Trump and say that he did the right thing. We all know that.
Yeah.
However, here's the reality. The world is not MAGA. He cannot convince the world. The world knows exactly what happened. They're not going to spin it to make Trump look good. And that's the problem right now, is the whole world is not falling for it. The only people that are falling for it are the Republicans and the MAGA base that have to, right?
Yeah.
because they just cannot get out of whatever it is they're getting out of. But the world will not spin it and make him look good. And it hasn't happened. And I just, and one more thing, and before we read, is I had a good friend tell me, Sheila, these are the things that need to happen to hasten the for him to get out of there.
Yes, yes. I totally agree with that take on it. Everything's so compressed. This could have dribbled on over years, and it's all happening very tightly. So hopefully we can get through it and out the other side.
All right, who's ready to read? We're reading on the energy. Was this planned, or what was in the minds of Trump and Vance when they planned to goad and bait Zelenskyy as if he was some kind of wild animal?
I'll go ahead and go.
I'm not ready. What about you?
Yeah.
Go for it, Sheila. You go
I'll
for
go
it.
ahead and go since I already talked. One thing I got, the Seven of Pentacles, that constant effort. The constant effort to figure it out, to do this, to do that. What they really, really need the most is for them to have a real good reason, rock solid reason somehow, some way to not support Zelenskyy, because Putin would just, and they also want to flip it, they give out the delusion and the lies and all of that. They need to flip it so that when it comes time for Trump to support Putin, that his base is just going to be all raw for it, because this is what's going to happen. I mean, I have been getting the devil in this forever right now with him. So it is literally the demon, the evilest plan ever is coming out of the White House right now with them. And I want to reiterate that even the devil went down to Georgia and didn't win, okay? Does not win every time, but they are showing their cards right now, and I have a feeling this is not going to work in their favor. I get lost. Like they showed their devilish ways, but they also are, the outcome is a loss. So I don't know if that answers the question or not, but
definitely gives energy. Who's ready to go next? Lena?
Yeah, I can go now. Mine are all about the Yeti with MAGA. You know, it's funny when you ask tarot questions, it goes down different tributaries, right? So this is all about the love affair between Trump and MAGA, the irrational love affair. It's like the abusive boyfriend, but, you know, he really loves me. That's why he locks me in the house so nothing can happen to me, right? You know, it's like that.
Yeah.
He literally pushes things down their throat, right? He literally controls what goes in their heads. Because he is their beloved king. These are so people who are so malformed and so full of hate and so fundamentally insecure, they need a king. Right? Secure people would approach this differently in this way. And it's not a king like, you know, Hoagie and I have jokes about the monarchy and the length of the monarchy. It's not about that. We don't feel threatened by anything King William could do or say, should he be the next king. It's not like this is the feudal king we're talking about here. And they are seriously deluded and confused. Which is the card you got. They're completely impenetrable.
Wow. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, underneath the light on it is, of course, his connection with Russia, what he looks for, what he should do when it comes to going forward to make something better. So we've got Trumpenstein here. And when it comes to his idea of justice, it's about the monetary and things that he's gotten from Russia. He continues to get from Russia. And we have the very hard crushing wheel at the center of it when it comes to, I got two cards, what's being birthed in America. Okay. So it's all about the challenge is the documents when it comes to the hard truth coming out and the pain that he is causing. And again, for him, it's all about business, what he's getting. So he's, willing to walk away and distance, because for him to make it better, he has to make Zelenskyy capitulate to give everything to Russia.
Yeah. Gosh, yes, indeed. And I'll just say a few more quick thank yous and get also some written feedback to things as well. Where did I get? Where did I read that? Okay, so Shari, thank you so much for your kind donation, much appreciated. PJF, thank you so much. Teresa, thank you so much. Karen, oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Guys are awesome.
Just incredible, absolutely incredible. Susan says that send Muskrat to Mars in one of his broke down rockets. Bye-bye.
Off you go, pet.
See you. I would even add to that and be like, oops, we accidentally sent the rocket to the sun. Oh dear. It vaporized.
We'll send help soon.
And is there any ketamine on Mars? Imagine if he's running around in his spacesuit going.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that
idea.
idea.
Scarlett, thank you for all you do for us, they say. And Foggy says, I knew what was coming with Zelenskyy. I knew it would be bullying. It's over now, and I'm just so sad. Yeah, it's just it's going down as already as one of the worst diplomatic things, in history. All right, so the cards that I have, what was the energy? What's the energy? What's the motivation? I think here it's given a bit more of a helicopter view here, but this is interesting. Anyway, so if we look here, straight away we get, oh wow, we've got over 3,000 of you here already. Thank you so much for joining us. Much appreciated. 3,030 now. So if we look here, we've got the Knight of Wands. Now, of course, this is a card that can talk about energy, passion, initiating things. And obviously, wands, as you know, I associate with business as well. So there is a business element here. So the way I'm interpreting this is that literally what they were focused on and what they were really wanting was the business opportunities. Yeah, the opportunities to pillage, have basically Zelenskyy over a barrel, taking all of the wealth for not much in return. The shadow of this card as well can also talk about anger, impulsiveness, and immaturity, which was on full and pungent display. Yeah. If we look here, the obstacle card here is really quite interesting. And as you guys know, I turn my cards the right way up. So when I get a reversal, it means something. Now, the irony is this is the Hanged Man. When he's upside down, he looks like he's standing up. And in this card, I think it's really quite a simple metaphor. The world has been turned upside down. Yeah. The alliances have been turned upside down. The world order has been turned upside down. It is, the Oval Office is now an extension of the Kremlin.
It is exactly that. I just said that in a video not half an hour.
Extension of the Kremlin.
Yeah.
When this card is the right way up, it talks about having a different perspective, but it's not a fast card. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't deal with speed. This, when it's this, it's just like, I think their intention was to basically slow things down, slow up Zelenskyy, slow up the world for Putinshka, but it's had the opposite effect. Quite literally, it's like the whole world has stood up and gone, oh, this is horrific. Yeah, he's literally standing up the wrong way. Look what it's about. Just in case we weren't sure, in the middle we have the King of Pentacles. He's the king of cash. He's transactional. He's just seeing it as an opportunity. He's treating this as a business opportunity to basically extort from Zelenskyy. And while at the same time he's thinking, right, I'm getting the minerals in there and I can use all the minerals and the resources to build Trump Gaza. Oh, and I'll be even more rich. Yeah, it's just one outrage after another. But if we look here, 8 of Wands, things are moving at great pace. This is the card that can also deal with business as well, but it can also deal with messages, emails, texts. Obviously, this is an international card and it deals with flights. This has gone around the whole world, and the whole world is just like, this is just disgraceful. But underneath it all, look at this. We've got the High Priestess. It is all about the, well, not so secret really, machinations with Russia. It's all about Putinshka. It's all about the backdoor deals. This has been bubbling and brewing for years. And as for Lindsey Graham, oh my goodness, he should just, I was going to say he should drown himself, but that's probably a bit too strong. But do you know what I mean? So anything to add to that, ladies? Yeah.
Well, I'd like to say one thing, which is it's always and only about the money. Yeah. Now, what's going to bring the whole house of cards down, I think, is Trump's obsession with tariffs has meant that's going to kill the economy. It's going to impact every economy, but it's going to kill the US economy. And I think it's only then, that people will actually realize. I'm hoping millions of people will protest in the meantime, because our audience particularly and others here are sentient, sane, decent Americans who are rightfully freaked out by what is happening and will protest. But the real rubber will hit the road when the economy dives. It's going to have the opposite effect.
Yeah.
And then they'll all hate him.
Yeah.
Speaking of protests, did you guys hear about what went on in Vermont?
So what happened?
Vance and his family went skiing on a vacation in Vermont. I think he showed up yesterday. And Vermont lined the streets with protesters.
Brilliant.
You should look it up. They have brilliant signs. They didn't no peace. It was unbelievable. Yeah, Vermont is like, you come to our town, we're going to make your life miserable. You want to come vacation here? Here's a sign for you. They like called them names.
Awesome.
It was beautiful. Absolutely. I'm loving
it. Vermont.
Yeah, they had to go somewhere else. They left there and had to go into hiding somewhere.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
And how do you explain to your kids who you've got lying on the floor of the back seat so they don't see signs going,
yeah, exactly.
Or whatever, like, brilliant.
I mean, they were awful. You can't even say them on YouTube, to be honest with you, the signs. But I was like, oh, Lord.
And you can feel the momentum growing.
Yeah.
You can
absolutely.
Voice, yay.
Absolutely, because as you guys know, but I've been ad nauseum. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but this is part of the Great Awakening. We are now seeing it, aren't we, in motion as we get closer and closer to March 29th. And it doesn't mean it's over on March 29th. What it means, it just means Saturn changes sign and he strikes the gong. Yeah. And it just means that energy has in a way kind of crystallized, and we've got the lunar eclipse happening, everyone, on March 14th. Remember, that is a big march planned for everyone to protest. The moon deals with the public. So the lunar eclipse will deal with the emotions, but it will deal with the public and it will deal with the mind. People are becoming aware. When eclipses happen, things that were previously hidden or only suspected are brought out into the open. Yeah. We're seeing it all now, aren't we? Literally seeing it all now. And then on March 29th, which is, of course, HoGaLeSh, that is when Saturn moves in. That will also be the time when my channel is exactly 5 years old, by the way. Can you believe it? But the solar eclipse deals with leaders. So this is when the real consequences of what is coming will also display themselves at that time. So it's wild. Yeah, it is.
And just
wild.
Before we move on from March, in that cluster in the middle too, with that huge full moon, it's also the Ides of March.
Yes.
From Caesar. Remember, Caesar got brought down by his own people.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just
it's
saying.
also Ides of
I think it's
March.
too early for MAGA, but I kind of like the idea.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's
Like
true.
I'm on a inner tube going down the mountains from like high peaks. We're like all rushing down to the bottom to find out what's going to happen.
Indeed, indeed. So are we ready for the next question? Yeah. All right, so let's go to section number 5. So we're back in the one card pulls, lady. Back in the one card pulls. So this is I'm going to read out what will be 3 bits because I had to weave it together because people asked similar questions with a little variation. So this is I'm calling this question number 5 part A. Yeah. So the first one, so this is coming from ZZ. She says, or they say, hi, Hogarth and panel. Given the escalating, vile, disgusting power abuse shown by the White House administration yesterday, A, what is the world energy right now? Yeah, what's the world energy right now? One card pull, and then I'll read the next section.
World energy right now.
Oh.
Here we go.
And we have 4,429 of you joining us live right now. Thank you, guys.
Welcome on board. So
I think that's a record. I think
Oh,
that's a big record.
that went fast to 4,000.
that is fantastic.
Yeah, 3,440. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you joining us. I think that's a record already. All right, after 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
well.
okay.
All right, Lena.
Well, traditionally the victory card, and one couldn't say this was a victory for the Oval Office.
Nope.
So it's a victory for Zelenskyy, and it's now pulled the world in. Even people who were starting to look somewhere else, people were starting to lose momentum. Europe was just hoping it'd just wind up. You know, momentum was slow. Not anymore. Not anymore. Okay, and I made this image with this card design of Boudica, Indigenous Queen.
Yeah.
People
Wow.
rising
Powerful. Powerful. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
On the Roman Empire.
Oh, indeed, yeah. How do you interpret your card with the way the world is feeling?
Well, I got the 7 of Swords. So how I'm going to interpret mine, I love Lady G's card too. Look how Lady G, a lot of people were on the fence. They now know. They are not on the fence anymore. They have made their solid decision as to who and what Trump is, what side they're going to be on, and how they're going to handle this. They were, the summit literally told him not to come. We are not inviting Trump. So all of the summit people who are going to show up at the summit are gathering without Trump because they're not inviting him. And so they have made their decision of who and what he is. And I can't be prouder for it.
Thief, yeah, the thief card. Lady G, what's your interpretation?
Digging in and holding on to their values. Those that are wanting democracy are holding on to it desperately. And again, stubborn. We will not be moved. They were both into full support for Zelenskyy.
Yeah.
Yes. And here, my card here in terms of interpreting how the world sees it, here we've got the Knight of Swords. People just saw it as vicious, cruel, almost violent, and just as a sheer act of aggression. This is actually one of the most aggressive cards in the deck. It's not a friendly card at all. And people just saw through exactly what it was. And me just thinking about Sheila's card with the 7 of Swords, which is wearing the little Russian hat as well. But it's almost like a theft as well. That is a card of theft, smash and grab. You know, so here people just saw this as aggressive, overbearing, over the top, and it just turned everyone off. Their intention was to fell Zelenskyy in their premeditated attack, but it's backfired. His popularity has gone up, and they've shown the world who they are. You know, Trump was like, well, this is why I kept this going on so long. And it's like, yeah, just showing the world just how much of a poodle you are for Putinshka. Oh,
yes, shocking.
Can't make it up, isn't it? Can't make it up. All right, let's go to question 5, part B. And I'm going to read out 2 sections of it. Yeah, so it's one card pull again, but there's 2 sections. So ZZ, the second part was, how will the world choose to respond to the USA moving forward? Yeah. And then I'm going down here with my little arrow. In fact, there's 3 sections, like snakes and ladders. And then Angelic Alchemy says, hi, Hogarth and ladies, greetings from Crazy Town, USA. Now that the Yeti and Couch Boy have shown their true colors, will the world show their economic power and boycott American-made products? And they say, thank you. Please know that there are millions of Americans like me that stand with Ukraine. And that's worth saying as well. Absolutely. Sending love and blessings. And of course, many people watching support Ukraine. And then the third bit, bear with me. This is from Baron Burble. And they say, hi, hi, Hogarth and beautiful ladies. Question, will the US lose NATO allies? So I think when we put that together, we know how the world has responded. But this is, will there be boycotts, and will they lose NATO allies? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a 1 card pull on that and see what.
Well, who lose NATO allies?
The USA. USA.
Well,
will the USA lose NATO allies?
I just got a really harsh vision of somebody with a cracked neck. I don't know what that means. I just got somebody just literally walked up and just went. And I don't know, NATO with the like the United States, like it's going to be swift, it's going to be quick, and they're going to come for them. I mean, like not. I'm going to have the FBI at my front door if I don't stop talking.
So you ready, Sheila? Just the 1 card. So the question is, will they lose NATO allies / boycotts, etc.? Okay, after 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at these. Oh, my Lord. Lena?
The answer is sure. Absolutely.
Look at the cards. I mean, sorry, Lena, Sheila, how do you interpret your card? The devil is back.
Well, the devil is back. How many times have we? His evil ways are not going to be rewarded in the world. The only time his evil ways get rewarded is through the Republicans and through the MAGA base. But the world, let me say that again, the world will not reward this evil guy. And that's kind of how when you ask if he's going to have NATO and all of that, no, they're not going to reward his behavior.
No.
So the world is going to be the adults for us because apparently our president can't be. So there you go.
Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, they stand for democracy, not for Putin's puppet. Okay. So that's it. They're going to go for the side of democracy, and Trump has blown that.
Yeah, and I think my card is quite a simple interpretation. It's gone it's the moon. The world thinks America's gone completely crazy.
Yeah,
they just think there's a couple of lunatics there in the White House. I mean, it is, and of course the battle here as well is between the domesticated dog and the wolf. So, and of course, the challenge is to walk through the pillars of truth here. So look, we've got this, look, we're having so many lobster moments. You know, I associate this with the deep subconscious. They're just seeing these surreal lobster moments. And in a way, this is almost like a battle between the Democrats and the wild Republicans in a way. And, you know, but it's all just a bit, people are just looking at and just going, OMG, this is just bonkers. Yeah. Fascinating, eh? Well, thanks. So we got through that bit. Anything to add to that, ladies, before we get?
I think Lena, first cards. I think. Did you read your card, Lena? No, yeah.
Yeah, I just had very simple piercing of the heart. I'd go as far as to say yesterday was the icing on the cake. It's already happened because the tariff threats have, as a threat to destabilize every other relationship. He destroys relationships. So that's destroying, the tariffs are destroying the economic relationships, and this sort of fiendish Dr. No nonsense, you know, it's real strange love country, is destroying security arrangements. So who's going to lose out? America is going to be completely isolated because no one likes a bully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or to be economically harmed.
as you were talking, I pulled cards, and of course the Tower moment because of his insanity. Absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the moon card as well, Lady G. You got the moon card as well. It's lunacy. Lunacy.
Insanity. But I want to reassure Americans too that the world does understand it is not the majority of Americans do this. We've all been forced to watch this deterioration of America's strength over 9 or 10 years. We've been forced to watch how the guardrails of the system have failed. And now we all support decent Americans in standing up. It's the last line. It's the last line is people power.
Indeed.
Hogarth, I wanted to mention something in the chat. A lot of people are saying we don't have a moderator. I haven't seen one show up in a little while unless they're not posting, but a lot of them are
normally Patricia. It's normally Patricia Franzino, who is our moderator. Is she in the chat? She's normally in the chat.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, I'll be a moderator. There must be a bot or a troll.
Yeah, that can happen.
There's
so what I'll do is
love. There's unconditional love.
Sorry, what unconditional love as what? Who wants to be a moderator?
Right. Oh, there's Patricia. Okay, there's one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Patricia should be a moderator. I'll see if I can add some more. Yeah. And but this thing is, when you get a popular show, you get all sorts of people. You never know who is watching, but I'll try and add some more post show. But let's keep going because I want to tell some people some
did you know that you can click on them and make them a moderator right here, right now? Did you know that you could do that?
I think so. Let's see. Who's saying they wanted to be a moderator? Who was
Ron,
saying?
Tarot. He can be a moderator. Ron, unconditional tarot.
But where are they in the chat? Because the chat is so speedy.
Look, guys, we've only got a few minutes left.
Yeah, I think
maybe work on that for next week.
I think so. I think so because
back through the comments and see
exactly because I want to keep the momentum going because obviously we've still got quite a bit to get through. All right, so let's start with I really want to tell people about the Rahu Dasha and when things might likely improve as well from an astrological perspective. And I think it's important for people to have that. All right, now this is coming from Ruth Goldberg. And she's talking about a trumpet friend of hers, but hear it out. I thought this is intriguing. So they say, I have a trumpet friend who's very intelligent. Interesting. He claims Trump is, now this is interesting. He claims Trump is publicly insulting Zelenskyy in order to get Europe to galvanize and support Ukraine. Yeah, so that's the first part of the theory. That puts Russia at a disadvantage. Once that's established, F-45 will move to make a deal with Putin, he says allegedly. a historic deal that will benefit the US and end the war. But then she says, my card says F-45 strategy will fail. What do you guys say? So what do we think about that? Is there this kind of like the Russian egg within an egg? Is this deliberate pushing in order to almost galvanize each side so the separation is clear, so that Europe is on one side and then can effectively be isolated so that he can go completely with Russia? What do you reckon? Yeah.
Well, I think people overestimate Trump's ability to follow a plan or a script or something. So that might have been someone's idea, but there's no way he can't stay with it. If his life depended on it, he cannot stay with the same idea after lunch, right? So who knows? It could have been someone's plan, but it hasn't.
How about it? How about this way then? We can just look at it this way. Let's all read what are Russia's intentions, yeah, for what is their plan for the United States with their special agent, yeah, special agent. Let's put it that way. Let's read on that.
He wants the Republicans and the MAGAs to get on board with him helping Russia.
Yeah, but let's see what comes out in the cards. Let's see what comes out in the cards.
Russia's plan.
Yeah, what's there? Let's look at it from the other side, isn't it? What's their plans? What's their hopes and dreams and ambitions and whatnot? Particularly with JD Vance, especially as the Oval Office is now an extension of the Kremlin. And we have 3,766 of you with us right now. Thank you. That's incredible. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. It's much appreciated. Let's have a look. Oh, wow. All right. That's pretty clear. All right. Who's ready to go first?
I can.
Yeah, Lady G, go for it.
So it's all about the wealthy, those in power, and looking deeper into that, investigating deeper into the wealthy. It's about repressing some government, repressing it, so that when they temper, when it comes to temperance, no, they're cutting that. There's no temperance with anything, because their divergent path is about money. It's, again, this new money and the things coming in with that path. And their wheel is about argument and just putting out more and more difficulties for people.
Fascinating. So we're going to be going clockwise this time. So Sheila, you're next. What do you have?
Mine's very fascinating. I actually got the King of Cups and the Knight of Cups, and I thought usually that's Democratic. And then I asked like, why do you keep on bringing that? They're trying to grab the emotional aspect of the Americans and whoever else that'll be on board, because I see the strength and the sensitivity. They're really trying to get the emotions of something, us, them, whatever. But the judgment against them is heartbreak. So they're not getting the emotional attachment like they want. So those two things, that's kind of how they're running this. You got to get them to love us. And they're trying to throw some magician again. They got the justice and they got the judgment. So there's some really hard core things going on with the people. Like, they underestimate Americans. Americans really have this one thing that goes on with them. We never give up. We never give in. And we're stubborn. So they're trying to penetrate the emotions of people who they've ripped the emotions out of. And the thing about it is the charity. It feels like Putin wants to be paid back. Again, about money. Like, I invested in you, I need a return. None of them do anything for free and for love and for kindness. None of them do. I want paid back. I got the charity card, but here's the outcome for the whole plan.
There you go. Yeah.
You can surmise what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But their whole plan really isn't. Yeah, but they're trying to manipulate on the biggest scale. They've already ripped compassion out of most of us here for them. So I don't know how to gain that. That's what I got.
Thank you. Lena, what do you have?
Well, these went in the way, what are the Russian people feeling, as opposed to what are the oligarchs and the generals thinking, right? So this is more the people. Look at these cards. Oh, they're feeling really dejected and down and exhausted and anxious because they're the ones who have lost their sons and nephews and cousins. Don't forget, 300,000 Russian men left to avoid the draft, which created a brain drain in Russia. They're over it. They're totally exhausted. It's only like the really old people now, conventional state media, who believe they should still be going on. They don't want any. They're exhausted. They don't want any more of this stuff. They're not sharing the imperial dream, which has always been well known. Putin's personal quest is to restore the old Soviet Union and its greatness. But all these cards are not supporting that, which tells me there's a disconnect between his fantasy and the people who just want to have a life.
Fascinating. And let me just say a few more thank yous here. Just to say here, Kristen says, you really can't make this stuff up. They're deranged.
Yes.
This Trish said, I think so too, Hoagie, but I can't remember what that was in reply to, but thank you anyway. Mercury Angel says, it will take about 9 months to get to Mars, I believe. It's true. The journey is about 9. It takes about 9 months.
Isn't that symbolic for the sperm donor? So
well, that's what I was thinking.
A cluster
of
women, and he'll be doing his things with the rubber gloves.
He'll have these incubation things. So when he lands on the surface of Mars, he'll have all of his, baby mamas, all with child all at the same time. Crazy. Chat Wadsworth says Russian news agency TASS was there, even though someone claimed that TASS was not invited. Yeah, I remember that one.
Interesting.
So Russian state propaganda media are allowed into the White House now, or the quasi Kremlin, while Reuters is
and
not.
AP and everyone are banned.
Yeah. And then Barbara says, and Vance lunged forward. Screw him. Yes. It was all a bit too much. So I'm going to read my cards, and then I just want to finish up giving this little bit of this Rahu detail so we can get a little idea of where things are going. All right. Russia's ambitions. What are their plans? Well, look at this. Surprise. We have the Two of Wands, which we know all the twos are always about plans, making decisions. Wands are, of course, about business. And look, here we are. This could literally be Putinshka looking at the world. It is what I'm taking from this is that basically Russia wants to reposition itself in the world, not only ideologically, but economically as well. Apparently, they've got look, they don't have the greatest GDP. They're not the richest country. I remember one person or several people have said that basically Russia is like a petrol station with an army. Yeah, I think that's a little bit unflattering, but I mean, I have been to Russia once upon a time back in 2008. Fascinating. I'll never go again. Anyway, but this is literally almost like Putin looking out at the world, thinking about his economy, how to develop it. And I think that is also leaning into like what Lena was saying, getting that old USSR back. Yeah, that wealth back. Just in case we weren't sure, if we look at the next card, we literally have the world. So again, this is I think this is about Russian imperialism. Putinska wanting to feel that Russia is the center of the world again. You know, it is the biggest landmass on Earth, contiguous country. It's got many time zones. And I think he wants almost to, for that czarist imperial grandeur of old. He does romanticize those times. And his icons are Peter the Great and Catherine the Great, yeah, who are the two epic imperialists. So here he is once again, and this time it is pages, and pages, of course, deal a lot with what? Messages, messaging. So part of how he's been doing that, of course, has been with disinformation and just propaganda, and just, you know, they've been doing it verbally. However, Russia are feeling a little bit tired. Yeah, look at this. They're exhausted. Zelenskyy is exhausted.
Yeah.
Ukraine is exhausted. They're just honest about it. Yeah, they're just honest about it. Russia is exhausted too, even Putinska. And there were even times, I think even Putin was saying, well, you know, I wouldn't mind Zelenskyy being at the table, but because Trump is such a loose cannon, you just, you know, you don't know if he's going to have his dentures in or not from day to day. So they are feeling a bit overwhelmed, tired. They actually want the war to end as well, because they can only carry on for so long. That's why Zelenskyy needs his assurances, so they don't recongregate and come back. And then if we look here, the outcome card, they get the card of studiousness. Again, pentacles, money. So we see there's a big financial element here as well. Working hard to basically try and restore their economy. I think they thought Ukraine would be an easy win. Yeah, remember, he thought it would be less than a week. And I think he was eyeing them up, thinking of the money. Yeah. But in the end, it's become this tremendous burden, huge loss of life. And I think they want a breathing space so that they can rejuvenate, focus on their economy, and basically try and build up their strength again. And really, Duck L'Orange is their only hope. So, well, interesting, eh? Okay, let's, the time has gone in a flash. So one more thank you so much, Rita. And let's just talk a little bit about this energy, what's going on, and will it peak, will it end? So America is in a Rahu Dasha. What does that mean? Dashas are times of planetary influence that last for a long time. Not always. The shortest Dasha is 6 years, which belongs to the Sun. The longest is 20 years, which belongs to Venus. Rahu is 18 years. Now, does it mean it's going to be like this for 18 years? No, not necessarily. But this energy started in 2015. Rahu is the wild roller coaster. Rahu is the liar, cheat extraordinaire. He literally deals with con people. The energy started to come in when Trump was campaigning. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
So the Rahu energy will end in 2033. Yeah, I know that sounds like ages away, but it doesn't mean it's all going to be awful. And America is also going through something called Sadi Sati, when Saturn is with the moon. One sign before the moon, with the moon where it is now, one sign after. So on the 29th of March, America goes into waning Sadi Sati. So the energy is going to shift. Yeah. But I think the most challenging time is going to be when the United States goes into Rahu Ketu, which is on the 26th of March, 2026. Yeah. That's going to be, this is when a lot of this stuff is going to be decided. Yeah. Makes sense, doesn't it? We're in 2025. Things will peak. However, a potential for healing and rejuvenation comes with more likely diplomacy and trade and new relationships with the world when the United States goes into Rahu Venus on the 13th of April, 2027. Yeah. So we've got this year period of just, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's about getting through that to get to the other side. So people need to stand up. This is the time to protest, boycott. Remember, what do these billionaires love? The only thing they love is power and money. If we don't buy their stuff, like with the Tesla stock, starting to crater, don't buy their stuff. So we've had, remember, no buy Mondays. We had a big boycott thing the other day.
Yes,
same with legacy media as well. If you're watching some elements of legacy media and they're just telling you BS, or they go and sack someone who's speaking the truth, like Joy Reid. You know, so remember, the power of the purse really does count. How you spend, how you buy does make an impact. And that's just my closing thing. Anything to add to that, ladies?
Well, just that I think it's important because every day brings a new assault, a fresh hell. So it's really important not to react to everything. Be really focused that this tumult is rolling on. So it's better to conserve your energy and put it out in general. So regardless of where it's impacting you or someone you know, just keep focused on the general resistance to this regime, because that's what it is, rather than this issue, that issue, and did you hear they did that, and what about that? And keep focused, resisting the lot.
Indeed. Anything to add to that, Sheila and Lady G? Sheila, thoughts, and then Lady G.
Okay, quick thoughts. They want to do the barb. I don't know if we can pick somebody for the barb. I've been watching the chat.
The barb. Ooh, yeah. No, go on.
The other thing is take a deep breath. I can't even remember what the crisis was last week, right? I know we showed up going, oh my God, and then we come here and like, oh my gosh, and I can't even remember what's happening last week. That's their plan. That's to keep down, keep us to focus and stuff like that. So what we don't is rise up. And I know we are exhausted. I'm not telling, I know that we're exhausted. We're soul exhausted. We're mentally, we're physically exhausted from all of this stuff. But I just keep on feeling that we're winning. I do. I don't know why, but I just like what we see is not what the end result is. We are gaining in our emotions and our energy and our thinking, because this awakening has been coming for a long time. That's the reason why we're here. That's the reason why so many of us have been activated, is because we're here for the exact same reason, for the awakening, the change. Everybody says it has to get worse before it gets better. I hope it doesn't get any worse than it already is. But there has been a big, huge shift over this Zelenskyy thing. And I am for it. I'm just going to ride on that momentum and see what we got to do next. So that's what I got.
Yeah, very good point. Lady G, your thoughts?
Well, like I've been telling students, for a long time, the big division is coming between light and dark, and the darkness cannot take the light. It doesn't understand it, and it rails against it. And so the more that we see them getting crazy, the more light is coming in. So just continue to hold the line. Don't get into fear mode. Don't get into the anxiety. Stay in the love, stay in the peace, but again, hold to the truth, the strong truth. We're not going to back away from it. I'm not saying, oh, everything is fabulous now and just, not anything. You stand up for truth and just don't get yourself pulled into the negativity and the spin and the fear mode and drama, because we will come out in the end okay, even better.
Yes. Very, very good point. And I'll just click up on one thing here. When MTG's husband or boyfriend Zell asks why he doesn't wear his suit, wasn't that ridiculous? What about Elon Musk turning up without a suit and a 4-year-old child? Come on, just like, please. And then, indeed. And then Carney says March boycott for March 7th to 14th, Amazon, and 21st to 28th, Nestle. So I just wanted to end on that. We had over 3,800 of you join us this evening. That's astonishing. So big love. I want to thank everyone so much for the support of the channel. We really, really appreciate it. Please, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe and share to support our work here. That would be much appreciated. Of course, we will see you next week. Thank you as well, of course, for all the donations as well. Wonderful. You're so generous, guys, and I'm glad that you're enjoying the content, and we're able to give you, you know, these readings, always so varied each week, isn't it? And I'm glad we got in a lot of content today, but of course we do need to totter off. So we will see you next week. But just to give you guys a heads up, when we do that HoGaLeSh on the 29th of March, it is also the solar eclipse. Saturn is changing sign, and my channel will be exactly 5 years old. Anyway, so we'll be tottering off. Oh, indeed. We'll be tottering off now. So see you next week, folks. Thanks so much for supporting us, and see you soon. All right. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.